Hello everyone, welcome to this enlightening session on attitude. I am Dr. Kiran Kakade, Associate Professor at Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies, Symbiosis International University, Pune. Today we'll explore the fascinating world of attitude, how they shape our lives, influence our decisions, and impact our professional success. By the end of this session, you will gain insight into understanding the transforming attitudes of personal and organizational growth. Let's get started. Let's begin this session with one activity. Look at the factor listed in the slide, which shows the hard work, knowledge, love, luck, money, leadership, and attitude. These parameters you need to rate each one in percentage based on its importance in achieving success. Like the rating will be A1, B2, C3, D4, and so on. Take a moment to reflect on your choices. So addition of this number as per the spelling, notice the calculation, you can see that. This is for only the understanding the concept of attitude, and it's important in your life. So if you see, when you calculate the hard work and add all the numbers that you are rated to the each word of that spelling, then you get 98%. For knowledge, it is 96%. For love, it is 54%. For luck, it is 47%. For money, it is 72%. For leadership, it is 97%. But one thing you notice, for attitude, it is 100%. So it's your attitude towards life and work that makes our life 100%. So this fact is very interesting, or this exercise demonstrates why attitude is everything. It's the one factor that can truly make or break your success. So once Winston Churchill said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. One quote that I want to share with you that is very interesting. Once a day I met with money. I said, "You are the just piece of paper." Money smiled and said, "Of course, I am a piece of paper, but I haven't seen a dustbin in my life." That's tell about the attitude. So attitudes are like icebergs. When you relate attitude concept with the iceberg model, that you can understand what you see on the surface is only a fraction of what lies beneath. They are deeply rooted in our feelings and behaviors. For example, an employee willing to work in a hazardous environment reflects a positive attitude. This unseen strength often drives success. So you can see in a slide that the visible above sea level, that is 10%, but invisible sea level, that is your attitude. Your visible sea level of iceberg relates with knowledge and skills, but the invisible part of the iceberg that we denoted 90%, it's attitude. So attitude is nothing but your value, standards, and judgments, motives, ethics, and beliefs that impact your knowledge and skill, and overall it gets success. So attitude are evaluation statements, either favorable or unfavorable, about objects, people, or event. For instance, when I say I like my job, I am expressing a positive attitude about work. Attitude are complex and shaped by various factors, as well explore next. Consider how advertisements use emotional appeal to conditions us to feel positively about their products. This is a classic example of shaping attitude. So how will you define attitude? Attitude can be defined as a tendency to feel and behave in a particular way. It shows our feeling about something. Let's have an example. If any employee is ready to work in hazardous environment, it shows his positive attitude. So attitude are broadly categorized as positive, negative, or neutral. A positive attitude is marked by optimism and flexibility, while a negative attitude often stems from frustration or pessimism. Neutral attitude reflects detachment or indifference. So, what factors determine attitude? Yes, there is one formula. We called it as a triple ES. What is triple ES? Environment, experience, and education. Attitudes are shaped by three major factors. These are environment, experience, and education. So, environment includes influence from home, school, and cultural or social setting. Experience involves interaction with people and events. Education encompasses both formal and informal learning. So this together three triple ES determine how we perceive the world. With example, imagine growing up in a supportive home environment. This often leads to a positive attitude towards challenges. What are the components of attitude? So there are three components: cognitive, affective, and behavioral. So cognitive is always the evaluation one, affective is always a feeling, and the behavioral is the action that you make. Let's see this with an example. So cognitive, for cognitive we have the example like my supervisor gave a promotion to a co-worker who deserved it less than me. My supervisor attitude is unfair. So this is at cognitive level. What is at affective level? That the feeling denotes your attitude. I dislike my supervisor, and at last it converts into the action that I am looking for another job or another work. I have complained about my supervisor to anyone who would listen to me. So this comes towards negative attitude towards supervisor. So this is the factors or the component how your attitude build with the instances or the experience that you have in day-to-day life. So what are the types of attitude? As I said, there are three types of attitude: positive attitude, negative attitude, and the neutral attitude. So the positive attitude tells about the confidence, optimism, cheerfulness, happiness, sincerity, sense of responsibility, reliability, and determination. Your negative attitude, hatredness, pessimism, frustration, anger, this comes with your negative attitude. And the neutral attitude tells about indifference, detachment, feeling of being disconnected and unemotional. So how you can build a positive attitude? Developing a positive attitude is within your control. So what are the steps? So the first steps that we can help you to build your positive attitude is telling yourself you can change. Reflecting on transformative life movement is the second step. Third step, we can say that changing your environment to gain fresh perspective. Third, maintaining healthy eating and sleeping habits. Fifth, seeking support from the right people. And remember, your attitude does not emerge from what happens to you, but from how you interpret those events. So let's explore some real life scenario to understand attitude in action. For instance, in a new organization, do you take the initiative to interact with colleagues? At a shopping mall, do you prioritize price, quality, or discounts? Witnessing an accident, how do you react? Help, observe, or walk away? So each response reflects your underlying attitude. In workplace, attitude manifests as job satisfaction, involvement, and organizational commitment. These factors influence employee performance and retention. For example, an employee with a high job satisfaction is likely to be a more productive and loyal. Consider how a supportive manager can enhance job involvement by aligning tasks with the employee interest. So attitude makes a difference. In conclusion to my session, I want to say that attitude are a powerful drivers of behaviors. By understanding their nature, types, and determinants, we can cultivate positive attitude for a personal and professional growth. Reflect on today's session and identify areas where you can work on your attitude. Thank you.